Why am I doing this? This is my sketchbook or ideas book, whatever you choose to call it, tour. So this is, the first page is kind of my thought process of play, all my different ideas. I have a bit of a, I don't really like to do my maps, but this is how I prefer to write down my ideas, and it's just looking at different aspects and writing down my thinkings. And then this was some artists that I had gathered after talking about my other ideas, different lectures, and this is one mind map thing that I did, kind of just explaining my ideas and some of the artists that I got out of it. And this was just kind of cleaning up my thought process, kind of splitting it up into different sections, making a cleaner list of artists that I want to look at immediately, or like the ones I would get the most starting inspiration from. So, and then this is my primary object, my primary source, and I just picked a music box, small, transportable. I had no connection to it, no sentimental value, so if I ended up taking it apart, I didn't have issue with it. And my printer ink ran out, but I like how it affected the image. And this is just messing around with the music box, you know, tracing it, overlapping. I do this a lot further on with it. And this was the first of the shadow studies I did of the music box, but with this one I had just the center colored in and the outlines coming out. And then this was another shadow study, which is one I developed a lot further down. And then this was, I did a clay sculpture or ceramic sculpture based on my music box. I kind of abstracted it, and I really like it. You can still tell it's the music box, but it's taken away some of that rigid mechanical form, made it slightly more organic, but because I'm a horrible perfectionist, I wanted to be as close to the actual thing as possible. And then this was, so from these, I detailed this in my Tumblr. I made wire drawings based on these. I don't have them with me now, so apologies. And so these wire drawings I pressed into clay and cut them out. And these were some of the forms that I had gotten out of pictures and then drawings. And this is more overlappings and tracings of these wire drawings, tracings of the original shadow study, and I really like this. And then this is based on more of the wire drawings, abstracted again. This was my first drawing of the shape that I really liked, and this is just a bigger one that I did. So this is another idea I had moved from kind of 2D, and I wanted to explore more 3D in terms of music. So what better way than kind of introducing like a sound sculpture, or, you know, so at the start I had originally just thought of bells and chain links, mainly bells, and then thinking of painting them, but the bells proved too difficult to be worth the time, and I ended up not painting since I liked the color of the clay that I used. Again, this is on my Tumblr, and that was kind of just some, I was going a bit mathematical with it, which I didn't need to. And then this was kind of my original idea of it. These were kind of the original forms, a lot bigger. I'm talking about bells, chimes, and Tanya Guina. She was my big inspiration. I should have put a picture, but oh well. And then this was another idea I had. I ended up scrapping it because it was too big. I was too ambitious with it. But if one day I could easily go back to it. But yeah. And this was another idea. I did a mini version of it on a canvas. I think it's on my Tumblr. And it's just kind of looking at sound waves. It was kind of a 3D piece where the triangles would mimic that of sound waves, and kind of like electronic sound waves as well. And then this was a version of it that I would have liked to have done, where it was a massive piece that kind of dried along the floor, and copied that of a music bar, where the bigger triangles would be in place of notes and all that. Yeah. And then this was a album inspiration. So around this time, I was really loved this Electric Light Orchestra album, Secret Messages. And so during a workshop, I dove more into why I liked it and all that. And so I'm finding out that the artist and what other albums he had made, not made, designed, and like, so this was the collage I had made. Now, again, I should have put a picture of the actual album that I got inspiration from, so you could see where some of the parallels are from, but hindsight. And so then these are just notes of the artist pictures that I had used in this. And then early in my ideas, in my kind of mind map stage, I was looking at synesthesia artists, specifically Colorform, where these types of artists, when they hear music or hear sounds, they visualize colors and shapes. So sadly, I do not have this. I would love it if I did, but I was taking inspiration from modern synesthesia artists and other artists that they think could have had synesthesia, such as Wassily Kandinsky and Paul Klee. And so these are some of the pieces. These ones are based on one album, some songs from one album, and these four are from a different album. And then these are the two that I picked to do bigger versions of. I planned to do a painting, but I just ran out of time with my other things I was doing. And then this at the end, I wanted to do more stuff with it, but again, ran out of time. And so, whereas these were inspired by songs, these were made while listening to a song. So that's why they're very rough and done on a sticky note. So it's not like I'm using up precious materials, I'm just using markers. And it's very quick drawings, you know. So, yeah, I would have wish I had done this sooner, because it was a nice area that I went into. Would have brought in more painting and all that, but you know, maybe in next semester if I am able to adapt this idea to whatever the next brief is. So, thank you for watching.